Hi guys, this is Andrew again with RedDoorStudios.com.co. Again, Red Door Studios is an online marketing company. We do website design, development, professional photography, um, all different type of fields. We focus. Our niche has been here in Medellin and in Colombia has been in the hospitality sector, but my experience as developer and search engine optimization has been varied, different industries. So in this video, I'm going to continue on the topic of search engine optimization. The last video that I did, the last video blog post was answering the question why you need to optimize your website. And if you want, you can go into our blog and check that video out first. So in this video, I'm going to show you kind of like a crash course to search engine optimization, what you can do as a beginner or even as an intermediate search engine optimization um, person, what you could do on your own, and stuff that you can be aware of if you're going to actually hire an agency or a freelance or a consultant or even train a staff member. So first of all, I'm in the middle of writing this blog post here. So first, before I tell you what you can do to optimize your website, we must understand what a search engine does. Many search engine optimization pros, we like to refer to search engines as answer machines. Why? Because you type into the search engine, you type in your search query, and in seconds, the search engine goes through all of the millions or billions of data that has been indexed to find you the best possible answer. And what is that best possible answer for a search query? Search engines are smart and they're getting smarter every it seems like every month now. It looks like they're updating almost every month. At least Google, it's the most important one. It's the one that's used the most in the world. It's always updating their search engine. So the search results are based on two main things, which is relevance and popularity. What does that mean? It means that when you type in something into the search engine, you're looking for information. The goal for Google or Yahoo or Bing or MSN or whatever search engine, their goal is to give you the most relevant website or web page. Um, and not only the most relevant, but also the most popularly used. Obviously, search engines see that if a website has relevance to your keyword term and it's also being used or being visited by uh, many users, then it's probably more of an authority than another website that perhaps could have more information or better information, but it's just not frequented. So this is why optimization is so key, because you could be an authority in your industry, but if you are not an authority online, then when someone searches for your service or for your product, you're not going to come up on the first page of Google or maybe anywhere near it. So relevance and popularity are determined. They're not determined manually. Instead, search engines use extensive algorithms to determine this. Like I said, these algorithms are being updated almost every month now, and it makes it the idea with these updates is to make the user experience more pleasant. Um, Google and Bing and all the search engine companies, what they want to do is make sure that you use their search engine frequently, that you come back to use their search engine, because every time you type in something, even if it's a broad keyword or a broad phrase, you're going to get the most relevant and you're going to be able to find your answer within seconds. That's their idea. That's how they make money, by repeat customers, repeat users. So that's how a search engine uh, ranks websites. They rank them using these mathematical equations based on relevance and popularity. There are hundreds of mathematical equations. It's not just one little algorithm. It's a giant conglomerate of algorithms that determine many factors, many ranking factors. What are those ranking factors? Where there's hundreds, and you can look these up. A great tool that I use that I'll go over in a future video post is Google Webmaster Tools. And Google, I mean itself, they even have tutorials and videos on search engine optimization from their own directors or workers at the search engine department. I mean, these people know what they're talking about, and that's my job, and it's like my hobby. It's one of my passions. I love to learn about this, seeing what's happening and what's changing, how this all works. I'm not a math major, and I don't know about algorithms and math equations as obviously in depth, but I do know how it works, and I do know how to optimize a website so that when someone searches for a term, it is more likely to pop up on the first page of Google. So let's go over what you can do to get started. The first thing you need to do is find the keywords that you are going to want to rank for. For example, I'm going to continue with one of the clients that we have here. It's a great success story for us here in Medellin, which is idiomasblendex.com. I literally, the work here in Colombia is awesome. Why? Because a lot of in the United States, many people don't optimize their website, but there's a lot of websites for certain industries. For example, real estate agents, attorneys, restaurants. I mean, it's so saturated that optimizing websites there really is almost like an art. It's a lot of work, a lot of hard work and investigation. And by implementing that hard work and passion and investigative know-how into search engine optimization here in Medellin and in Colombia as a whole, ranking for keywords has been really awesome because it's so much faster because there's less competition, and it's easier on a whole. So if you just do these little things, you can start with your website. So for example, the first thing is you need to know what you want to rank for. So how do I do that? The first thing that you can use, I'm going to go to a separate page here or tab here, and I'm going to type in Google Keyword Planner on the search bar. So the first, it's a little slow here. Sorry, I'm uploading the last video at the same time, so it's a little slow here. Okay, there we go. Google AdWords Keyword Planner. This is a free tool that Google offers. It's a free tool. Before you could use it, it was a public tool, but now you have to have a Gmail account. I have this in Spanish because the last video that I did was how to use the Google Keyword Planner in Spanish. So I'm going to go ahead and change that in my settings here in a second once it loads. So this is a free tool that you can use. And the purpose for this is to push people to look for keywords that they want to purchase through pay-per-click advertising on Google AdWords. But we're not going to use it for that. We're going to use it for just for investigation, for looking for the keywords that we want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and go here, and I'm going to change my configuration back to English so that you understand what's going on here. Obviously, if your browser, if your Gmail account is in English, this will pop up in English. Okay, so preferences, where is it? Zone, here we go, Espanol. I'm going to edit this back to English. Not from Australia, though. There it is, sorry. Okay, so save those changes, everything will change. Back to English, and since this is a tool, I'm going to go under the tab that says Tools. Obviously, I navigated away from the actual tool that I was using, so I'm just going to click here on Tools, drop-down menu, Keyword Planner, and that's going to take me back to the actual tool that I'm going to be using. So this Keyword Planner. So how am I going to use this Keyword Planner? So First of all, when a client asks me to quote them on search engine optimization, I immediately go to this tool just to get a broad view of what's going on in with their keywords. I'm going to start over here. Okay, so in order to find keyword ideas, I'm going to click here on the first option. What would you like to do? I'd like to search for new keyword and add group ideas. So here I'm going to start. So for example, let's say that my client is the private institute that teaches English in Medellin. So cursos de inglés en Medellin, clases de inglés en Medellin, donde aprender inglés en Medellin, cursos o centro de idiomas Medellin. Um, uh, I'll just leave it that way. You can put as many as you want there. Your landing page. We don't want to search for these keywords in a certain page. We want to search in Google. We want to get the results in Google, so we leave this blank. The product category, I'm going to leave that blank because this is a broad search. Locations, I can literally narrow it down to Colombia or Medellin, Colombia if I want here and pick, but I'm just going to keep it broad right now. Like again, like I said, since you're a beginner, and me too, when I talk to a client, well, it depends on their service or their product and also where they're at located. Sometimes I do change this, but for now, for this, we're going to leave it open. Same with languages. We're going to keep it all languages in Google. Negative words, I'm not going to filter. I don't have any negative words in there, and I'm not going to filter out any keywords. Keyword options, show broadly related ideas. Again, you can be more specific. It could only show closely related ideas to my search term. This is more advanced optimization and keyword research. But right now, just for this video, I'm going to keep it all broad. So I'm going to click on Get Ideas. And now this is going to start to populate with the ideas. The first tab here that it's going to show me is Add Group Ideas. Obviously, I don't want them to group up my these keywords. I want to see them individually because here they're in groups. This is good, obviously, if you're going to be purchasing and bidding on Google AdWords, pay-per-click. But just for broad knowledge, I'm just going to go click on Keyword Ideas. So, cursos de inglés en Medellín. In the world, 590 people per month are looking for that. And it's a highly competitive keyword, meaning that from what my understanding of how they come up with this term, that it is a highly competitive keyword, it's based on how much people are bidding opposed to how many websites there are in the world that have this keyword in it. So obviously, again, I think I did this in the last video or earlier in this video, cursos de inglés en Medellín, we're going to be able to notice that there are a lot of ads probably for this keyword, a lot of people competing for that ad space because it's probably a lucrative keyword. I mean, I'm sure that if someone clicks on that ad, they're probably going to be a hot lead. So if I go here to the search engine results, I'll see that, yeah, there's all these ads here. So that's probably why it's so competitive and so high. So obviously, I want to focus on keywords that have a lot of traffic, and maybe that are not. I'm not going to start out with keywords that are highly competitive. Maybe I'll start with lower ones. For example, Centro de Idiomas en Medellín. This one, it's only 65 cents if I wanted to buy, purchase pay-per-click, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to focus on researching. So let's say I like all these. I'm going to add them to my plan here on the right side. I'm going to add all of these, and then on the bottom here, it's going to give me even more ideas. And there are a lot of ideas for keywords in Medellin. So it's got 111 keywords. So what I can do is I could go through them and add to my plan which ones I think are good. And why am I adding it to the plan? Because once I'm done clicking over, I can literally download the plan as an Excel. I like to do it as an Excel spreadsheet, and I download it, and then I'm able to have it on my desktop, on my computer. I'm able to access it and see all of this information in an Excel spreadsheet, which I could then send to my client, or I'll just have it for myself for tracking. Obviously, I already have this for this client. We have over 50 keywords that we optimize for, and and it's proven to be a great tool because it's a good starting point. It's a good way to see what keywords are being searched for before you even start writing anything on your website or optimizing your website for any of these keywords. It's like, if you're a Formula One racer, and you've never been on the track before, you're probably not going to be doing very well. But if you go on the track and survey the track and study the track before you get on there, you're probably your time is probably going to decrease. You're probably going to run a faster race. So it's the same thing here. We're surveying the field. We're seeing how many people are searching for these keywords. How competitive are they? Do I want to buy them in the future? Do I want to make ads for them? And are they expensive or are they cheap? So that's number one. Number two, relevant content. So now that I have my keywords and I have my Excel spreadsheet and I know what keywords I want to rank for, I'm gonna have to start writing content for my website. For example, this website, this client that we have here in Medellin, we want to be able to have the content here all throughout the website. Maybe not on the first page. Obviously, the first page is usually like general information, but maybe that's why we have a blog. We have a blog because let's say the keyword is Cursos de Inglés en Medellín. Obviously, that's a very broad term, and you can have it literally under services, under programs, under the About Us. So you need to write about it, but don't write your content as if you were writing it for the actual search engines. Don't overwrite the keyword in your content. You want to write it for your client, for your target audience. Write it as if you were writing it for your future clients. That's a big mistake that a lot of people make, is that they start analyzing and overanalyzing what they write and trying to write for search engines, and then they get ranked in a negative way, or they don't get ranked because the search engines see it as non-relevant information. When you're stuffing a keyword in there way too many times, Google's algorithms are very intelligent. They're going to be able to notice that, and they're not going to rank your website. So you want to be as natural sounding in your content writing as possible. So that's number two. Number three, on-page optimization. What that means is obviously the content on your page, whether it's on your blog, well, obviously content all over your page. You want to optimize the content. If you have images, for example, these images on this website, it says C1 level, but if I actually go into the code and I see the source, like view the page source, I'm going to be able to go in there and see that my content, my source on these images, the alternative text on the images is going to have some of the keywords, or one or two of the keywords that I have optimized that website for. Obviously, the C1 level is an advanced level, so obviously we want to tag that image with Inglés Avanzado en Medellín. Why? Because when someone looks it up, maybe it'll pop up as an image if they're looking for images, or even just as the website alone under the search results. So it's don't let this backend scare you. I'm going to go over in depth on how to optimize on page this stuff. That's why I use Joomla. We use Joomla here. Joomla is the software that we use to create the application, that we use to create this website, which makes this part not like this. So you're not going to be looking at this when you're creating your website. We use Joomla or WordPress a lot of the times because a lot of the time we want our clients to be able to update and do their own website stuff, and those applications make it easier where you don't have to do this. This is old school coding where in the past we had the code. But obviously it's important to know this stuff on the back end if you really want to get into optimizing your website or hiring someone to optimize your website. So that's on-page optimization. Off-page optimization is a little bit easier. Off-page optimization encompasses social media networks, for example, like Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram. All of those are used for optimization purposes. For example, if I type in, I don't know, where to donde aprender inglés en Medellín on the search engine, perhaps and maybe Blendex's website might not come up first, but maybe their Facebook page will come up first, or maybe their Instagram page will come up first, or maybe a post that was directing to Blendex will be indexed. So off-page optimization encompasses the social networking, also blogging on outside blogs, linking back to your website where people from different websites, since you are an authority in your field, or let's say you are a restaurant in Colombia or anywhere in the world, and you're a good restaurant, obviously people are going to review you on review sites. Those review sites link back to your website, that counts as a backlink. And obviously those review sites are highly ranked, so Google sees this as a highly ranked backlink. So it gives it more authority. It gives it more of a preference when ranking. So all of those factors are important. Also, let's say you have articles on your blog post and you're an authority in your industry, you might want to go into an online magazine, or let's say an online news source, and maybe write an article or be interviewed, seek out interviews where you're talking about your product or your service and they're linking back to you. All of those are great ways to optimize your website outside of your own site. And those are things that you can easily do by establishing, let's say you have a restaurant, putting your restaurant on Yelp, on TripAdvisor, on the local authorities on restaurants. If you're a hotel, the same thing, hostel. If you've got, if you're a basketball course, you want to go on to blogs or forums about basketball in the area. If you have a physical location, you want to get onto Google Places under Bing Locations, Yahoo Locations. You want to make sure that you are registered there, that your address is registered under those things, because on search results, those might pop up when someone searches for your business. So those are little nuggets of information that are good for you right now to begin with. In my future posts, I will get into more detail on these different aspects, but I hope that this helps you get on your way, or at least have a better understanding of what search engine optimization is and how it works. Thank you and have a good day.